Hello. This is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker, and today is Friday, April 19th, 2024. In this area of Kentucky, currently the temperature sits at around 61 degrees. It's cloudy. We did have rain in the earlier part of the morning before sunrise. Morning thunderstorms. Highs in the mid 60s and lows in the low 40s. Storms likely to end as they did around 7:15 a.m. And new hurricane outlook produces or predicts 24 named storms. Again, in this area, Lexington, Kentucky, expect tomorrow to be the next dry day. Sunrise was at 6:56 a.m. today. Sunset 8:18 p.m. The wind is around 6 miles per hour, and the AQI is good at 34. Pollen is high. The past few days have been good. Temperatures been in the 80s and 70s the earlier part of the week, and definitely feels like the beginning of summer, springtime, 2024. As I said, I'm Theodore Parker, and this is a sideshow. So if you're watching the sideshow on Facebook and Instagram, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Talk about it on WhatsApp. If you're watching the sideshow on YouTube, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget about the sideshow coffee cup, 11-ounce black ceramic, dishwasher safe, good for all beverages, hot and cold. You know, these mornings shift back and forth. It gets cool and then it gets warm. But buy from me for $17 plus shipping and handling. The sideshow logo right there. Pay me through Cash App, $TR Parker 1. And if you're so inclined to want to support the show in a monetary fashion, I said support the show. Don't think I want to take your money and run off to the Bahamas. That's not the intention. But if you support the show in a financial fashion, that would probably go by way of explanation for technical equipment, things of that nature. The show might expand in other ways. So, if that's in your mind to do so, you can send the money to my PayPal account, Theodore Parker at Theodore Parker 902. And thank you in advance for all contributions and donations. Again, this is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky. And the top stories heading into the weekend are as follows. There are many, many of them. I selected a few to share with you that struck my interest. It goes without saying that there's continuous comments about the Sean Diddy Combs case, which, well, I guess a week ago now or more, the FBI, Homeland Security, law enforcement raided his two homes and seized certain materials. And as far as I can tell, the charges are related to sex trafficking. And that bears with it or can bring forth RICO charges. So that's based on the testimony of 3 women so far. And I'm saying that because so many people have decided to speak up, share their viewpoint, put their ideas and thoughts out there related to things that they are aware of or have been a part of that we kind of keep our focus on the legal aspects of what's going on. So 3 women have spoken up about how they were treated by Diddy, and charges out of what they have said to law enforcement has resulted in sex trafficking charges, which could escalate or has escalated to RICO charges. So that's where we are right now. And headlines: panel of 12 jurors sworn in for Trump's historic hush money trial. Ex-President blasts "It's a witch hunt" as he leaves the court. Now, Stephen A. Smith waded in on Trump's comment about Black people are relating to him or favoring him because of the amount of charges that he has been receiving from law enforcement, which to him equates their law enforcement journey with his, which is supposed to put him in line for receiving the Black vote under that concept. And Stephen A. Smith, in part, and to epitomize his comments, said that he agreed with Trump on that. I qualify that in my thoughts. The difference is, especially during the 80s, and Black men in particular were charged in excess of the crimes that they had committed. And in some cases, evidence was planted, or in equal amounts, evidence was planted by law enforcement on them that resulted in incarceration. And to me, that's where I kind of like beg to differ in going along with Trump evoking sympathy or empathy from the Black community in regards to his legal woes. Right. Senator Cruz: Democrats tossed 2 centuries of precedent by rejecting Mayorkas articles of impeachment. As you know, Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security, impeachment was dismissed once it hit Congress. So that was his comment on that, Senator Cruz. Has to come to an end. GOP lawmakers accuses Marjorie Taylor Greene of holding Congress hostage. As you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is in the news frequently for her comments. This is another one of her statements, ideas, and positions that she has taken, along with many others. Judge Trump rejects Trump's effort to pause the January 6th civil lawsuit while criminal case is ongoing. That was not successful. Tesla tells some laid off employees their separation agreements are canceled and new ones are on the way. As far as I know or can tell, and this is one of those stock market related issues, Tesla has not gained any in the stock market in a while. And stock's been going down or staying down. And I haven't really seen too many days when it's even going up that much. And that's like comparing it to Bitcoin, which I had already taken some time in another program to say how Bitcoin had risen. When I noticed it in the 40s, now it went all the way up to 70, has come down to in the 60s. But Tesla, in that same period of time, did rise a little bit, but it just hit it and has been stayed down since then. And this is an opportunity for me to say this. The stock market is there for those people that that choose to invest or to, put money into it. But if you're like myself, while you are working, the idea of, excuse me, and you might find this humorous considering how powerful the stock market is. Get you a good job with benefits that either has a 401k, and as referred to in the private sector, 401, 403, or if you're a government employee, a TSP, thrift savings plan, and all that work will be done for you. And stick with it until you're ready to retire. So if you talk about entering the workforce in your 20s, say after college, after you get your education and stuff done like that, and working through to your 60s, all right? So, all that time, at least 20 years of it, 25 years of it, maybe even 30 of it, depending on how fast you matriculate into knowing where you belong in the job market and job system and labor force, you have that retirement to come out of the labor force with, either at 62 or 65, if my understanding is correct. So as much as we have the stock market at our disposal with investments and individual things, a good job with benefits will do the same thing and put the work on somebody else. Just in case you hadn't thought about that. All right. FBI says Chinese hackers are inside U.S. infrastructure to cause devastating blow. We know the United States is currently looking at banning TikTok altogether. It is banned on government services, I believe. And that's still based on the fact that personal data is sent back to the headquarters in China of individuals that have TikTok accounts, especially talking about the United States of America. Whether or not that bothers you or not, it's not so much an individual decision, but considering politics, not necessarily economics, but politics, decisions, conversations are going on about it. And when I think about it again, TikTok, when I first kind of got into it, it was more like touted as a competitive thing, like who did it best, maybe a little routine, and 3 or 4 people would get in and do the routine, and there was supposed to have been some monetary reward, for whoever did it best. Whether or not that actually was true or actually worked out, or anybody ever received any rewards for participation in whatever category they chose to be in, I have never been able to confirm. But that was kind of like the original concept of TikTok to me. Group caught on camera pulling bear cubs from tree to take pictures. I guess this is sort of like don't feed the animals. You never know, Mama Bear might be around somewhere too. Israel Gaza live updates. Israel retaliates against Iran, U.S. officials say. So this was like from the Iranian embassy that Israel threw a missile into and everything that came up out of that. Stephen A. slams Trump hush money trial. I want him to lose the right way. California woman dies in fall down 140-foot cliff while hiking with husband and toddler in Arizona. Well, that's tragic. U.S. and U.K. issue new sanctions on Iran in response to Tehran's weekend attack on Israel. GOP lawmaker slams Republican colleagues over Ukraine support. They would like to see the Russians win. Kanye West and Bianca Censori spotted in separate cars after his alleged battery incident. Well, if you didn't know, Kanye West and Bianca Censori are husband and wife. And most notably, when they come out, Bianca is noticed for how she is dressed. And for my opinion, she does not wear as many clothes as Kanye has on, even with weather conditions being mild. So they were in Disney World, Disneyland, Disney World. And one of the things that is stated as far as visiting Disney is that you cannot go barefoot. And she was barefoot. But in this particular situation right here, they're walking together and a man bumps into her, grabs her, feels up under her dress, turns her around, lets her go, and then waves and walks away. So I give that a moment to sink in. So now Kanye alleged battery of this man. Byron Koberger defends alibi in Idaho student murders. He was nowhere near it. Moscow, Idaho, student murders 4 by knife. Lost for words, Joe Biden's tale about cannibals, bemuses Papua New Guinea resident. So this one is President Joe Biden is on a campaign trail, and he's talking about his uncle who served, I guess, World War II in the airplane, and he says that the airplane was shot down in Papua New Guinea, and he was never recovered, and they have not been able to find the body. So now, by inference, he said, well, they could have eaten him because, truthfully, Papua New Guinea does have cannibalism in their history. All right, and some of the people that they are currently acknowledge that in their history, but it's related to their culture for whatever reason, having to do with, burying of bodies and things of that nature. Whatever the explanation is, it is true. But they're taking a little bit more of it because, for one thing, they said during World War II, 79,000 soldiers disappeared. And is that to say that all of them got eaten by residents of Papua New Guinea? So the other thing is that the official report is that the airplane that he was on, Joe Biden's uncle, had engine trouble and went down in the sea. And so the plane has not been recovered and the body's not been recovered, but not that he somehow or another got shot down and landed in Papua New Guinea. So a little back and forth about that, how we feel and what we know are like two different things. Man convicted of murdering 2 Dartmouth professors in 2001 granted parole. Unhealthy dose of pesticides found in popular produce now, report reveals. Ignoring Trump, Arizona Republicans don't want to move too fast on 1864 abortion ban. So this is something that kind of like came up out of research related to abortion, because it's an ongoing topic based on state by state decisions under the federal statement, a federal decision. So now there's comments about a law from 1864. These are the 14 lawmakers who voted against condemning Iran's attack on Israel. Excuse me. 13 Democrats and 1 Republican. Last weekend, Iran launched more than 300 missiles and drones on Israel, but Israeli and allied forces were able to shoot down most of them. That's where we are. Friday, April the 19th, 2024. Coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky. This is The Side Show. I'm Theodore Parker. That's it. Hashtag